Hello everyone, Link here, back with Game 2 of We Want BBQ versus JinLair PinkWings. And I am very, very happy that they're going to be playing on Nightshade. That's my two least favorite maps in this entire map pool out of it. And all 5 maps are actually maps I'm okay with. We got Ephemeron and Sleepers being my next two, that I usually swift between vetoes because Sleepers is, I feel like, overall the better stage, but Ephemeron I dislike in TVP, or I don't like as much in TVP or TVZ, but in TVT, it's one of my favorites. Teach Crash. Teach is streaming right now, so someone should probably know what's going on. It's currently 11 where I'm at, so it's pretty late. For most people there, it's in the evening, but it's 11 where I'm at, which is actually fine with me because this means that my parents won't bug me because they're all tired when they wake up. Alright, Teach is back. So we're going to have a TVT here. It's really cold in my house right now. Alright, starting up. So we got a Terran and a Zerg. So for the most part, probably going to keep me out of it. Because no Protoss. And there's only 2 players, and one of them is going to get a revive. If I really want to, I could just proxy 2 racks, Teach if I really want to, but hey. I mean, I guess if they revive this guy and he plays Terran, and I see that he, in TVT, he doesn't SCV scout, then I can just proxy Marauder him. So in the bottom right, I had to look at the minimap right for a second. Representing JinLair PinkWings, up 1-0. It is DrunkCarbot. And the top left, the blue Terran representing We Want BBQ, it is FlreBird. With the StarCraft 1 SCVs. Right. Yeah, so there's actually something kind of funny, which is that if you like this little thing here, this will stay this will stay selecting a unit unless you either select another unit, because unless both units can't see it and you're looking at one person's POV. So if I look at his POV, it's gonna have this permanently selected, or this will be permanently selected until I select something else. But if I go to his POV and then go away from the camera and then go to everyone, as you can see, it kind of clears it out because neither player can see the unit, basically. But you do have to hit everyone for that, because if you're doing this, Fireclaw's just dancing around as CC. So yeah, no SCV scout from the blue Terran. This means I could proxy Marauder him. Because basically Proxy Marauder is a build in TVP and TVT that if you don't scout it, it's pretty much GG. There's no way you can defend it in TVP or TVT. And if it's scouted in TVP, it's okay. You can just bunker up on the natural base. If it's TVT, you can do kind of the same, but tanks allow you to push down a lot easier. That was a bit of a weird rally. So basically, like, it's not complete GG. Scan for a proxy. No, I don't know why he would expect a proxy, because there's a barracks at his base, and he saw that it was producing either a Marine or a Reaper. Like, he's convinced there's a proxy, which is kind of weird. Yep, there's CC. It is factory CC. looks like he's gonna lose the Reaper fight. I mean, I have seen some games where you proxy one barracks and then you have the other proxy at your main, but not only is that so rare and honestly kind of dumb, but in TVT you're definitely not going to see that because of tanks. And this is another reason I kind of dislike CC before factory, is because the opponent could just move 2 Reapers in, and 1 Reaper beats 1 Marine without the grenades. So he's not really going to have enough yet. He doesn't have any workers there, so if he just holds the high ground, he will get shot multiple times, which will kind of open it up. And Marines do produce quite a bit faster than Reapers. In fact, that's almost exactly double time. It's 4 seconds extra. But yeah, now we got Reaper and Hellion. And this is going to be that classic game of Reaper Hellion versus just a few Marines to defend. He's just waiting for SCVs to be transferred, but he's not doing it. Because the thing is, he knows that you can't really kill a supply depot with Reaper Hellion. He's going lib and just now getting double barracks. The thing is, usually just preventing the opponent from mining on a natural is good, but he's just finished his space now. Also, there's no reason to just chill here. You should at least be attacking the CC and forcing him to lift it. Also, jumping up now is also a poor choice, because you have no information until that point, and at that point you should know you're just sacrificing Reapers. If the opponent's playing like this where they're not transferring, they're bunkering down on those bases. So I think FlreBird's just kind of getting a little impatient, and that's exactly what you don't want to do against someone who went CC before factory. So yeah, Carbot is massively ahead. You had a supply depot here. Why would you put a super supply depot there? It's one thing, it's already bad enough to build super supply depots. It's even worse when you purposely put it in a vulnerable position. You had this one done. You just move some Marines in, you're good. Wait, where'd the lib even go? Hold up. There it is. Yeah, you can't hit it from there, but thankfully he moved it up. We'll get it. If he was paying full attention, he could have actually allowed like a few SCVs to mine rather than having all of them not mine, because there's a good few mineral spots that wouldn't be touched. It's just you can't put them all there because then a good chunk will be killed. He's gonna move in with cyclones, but honestly, this is a bit of a poor choice. Like if he just did this like a lot sooner, it would have been a lot better for him. He was able to get a tank and barely live with the cyclones. But like, yeah, imagine if he moved in, like he was just sitting near mid map for 40 minutes or for 40 seconds. Imagine if he moved in like the second he started, like he just moves right across the map rather than stays in the middle. Same thing that what FlreBird did here. He just stood here and then suicided his Reapers and is like, okay, I'm gonna go and attack these SCVs that are non-existent. Like, I feel like both players are playing too patient when they shouldn't be, and are being impatient at bad times. I'm a little surprised Carbot's not trying to push the issue. He just killed his opponent's tank, and he doesn't actually have pretty much anything. He's going Ravens, and Ravens by themselves actually don't win in TVT, unless you're going to go just Medivacs. He's got a Raven and a Cyclone. You can use for some harassment. Yeah, general rule, unless you're going to go for a Doom drop, you don't want to make this many Medivacs. So I'm really hoping that sometime soon Carbot Doom drops his opponent, which would actually work out pretty well. He's got a decent chunk of area not in vision, so if he just moves all the way around here, he'll basically just win the game. He's also going to kill a Raven. the thing about Ravens in TVT is that they can lock down. They can completely lock down siege tanks. Okay, that was some poor micro on Carbot's part. Yeah, the thing is, he's got no medevacs here on the opponent's side, so you definitely shouldn't be moving across, especially with half the Marines. Like, what is he hoping to achieve with this? Like, and now he made one Viking and one medevac. So yeah, the thing about uh, Ravens and TVT is that they can lock down siege tanks, which is incredibly valuable, but at the cost of a starport with a tech lab, meaning you're only making one unit at a time. And at that point, you can just make a bunch of Vikings and just have way more, and just make it so you just kill the Ravens before they attack, before they can lock it down. And even if they do lock it down, you have a big air advantage, which is enough to win the game. Unless like you have like 3 tanks, or unless you have 8 and somehow they locked down all of them before you killed them. Yeah, Carbot lost a bit more than he should because he didn't siege tanks. Neither player did, to be fair. He's also not landed his CC until now. Like, the problem is neither player is scanning, and this is the thing about TVT. You should never be muling in TVT because TVT is 100% dependent on positioning and timing. If you mess up on positioning for 1 second, it's GG, no matter the army supply. Also, no sensor tower and no turrets or anything, really. Like, if he drops in the main, he's heavily behind. Look where his army's at as well. And this is another thing. Pulling all the army over so you can kill the siege tanks. Not even attacking with these guys. Carbot, where are you looking? Okay, that was really poor from Carbot's perspective. And again, just having one sensor tower completely negates all of that. Or even just having one turret in the mineral line, he wouldn't have been able to just drop over and over there. Like, have just like one turret here and one turret here, and he basically can't do that at all. And that's just 200 minerals. That's nothing. He's ahead on upgrades. He's ahead army-wise. The only downside, and well, actually, it's not even a downside. I was about to say that Carbot has superior army, but he doesn't. He keeps making medevacs, and the opponent keeps making no medevacs, but Vikings. And the thing is, Vikings beat medevacs. Like, the only advantage that medevacs have over Vikings is that they can drop basically in this matchup. Like, the healing doesn't actually make much of a difference because of how important it is based off of positioning and air advantage. Because your tanks can shoot theirs and theirs can't shoot yours. And look, now he's just making Vikings. Also, stop! I've seen this way too many times from my team. This is a superior army. Do not bring these medevacs back. What are these medevacs going to do? What do you think these medevacs are going to do? If you were to drop your opponent, you could kill so much. Like, if he dropped Teach right now, or dropped FlreBird, he could kill all the workers here. All the workers here, all the production in the main, all the workers in the main. He could kill everything. And he's right next to the opponent's base. This was a like, Carbot literally could have just won the game there, easily. And FlreBird would have basically no chance of doing anything. He would have to win this engagement and lose pretty much nothing doing so, which isn't going to happen because he has no medevacs. He's going to go for a random flank, but that's not really going to work out well. Teach has a 4th as well. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at the army supply. Army supply and worker supply. That worker supply would be in Carbot's favor by like 20 workers if he actually dropped. If your medevacs are mid-map, that's one thing. But when they're literally next to the opponent's base, it makes 0 sense in any universe to pull back. Your opponent is completely undefended base. You have a defended base as well. What's the only difference is that you're behind it on army supply, which matters not at all, not in the slightest, in TVT. Like, he could have easily defended and killed pretty much everything. his opponent would have been forced to retreat. You're not forced to retreat in the slightest. It's really a mistake you just don't see in Diamond. Like, I don't understand that. Especially because Carbot's a good player. And again, no turrets, no sensor towers, and he's out of position for 1 second. Some decent target fire, but could have been better. He's got all these tanks, he's not even unsieging either. And now it's 2 base to 4. And how much vision did he even have? He sees this, he has no information whatsoever on what's in the main. He's building double CC. He's got a bunch of starports on the way. No fusion core, surprisingly. I mean, FlreBird, the only reason that Carbot's been in this is because FlreBird has made, like, nothing but Vikings, even when he's had the air advantage. And what you want to do is have 2 medevacs, just so you have a little bit of healing, but then make nothing but army. And now that he's attacking, he's moving a tiny chunk of bio into a tank. And, you know, tanks alone don't win TVT. You can just drop on top of them. And with the air advantage, you can just simply outrange the opponent's tanks. He doesn't even need to engage here, but he can because he just has so much more army. I'm really surprised that Carbot, out of all people, made that mistake. It looks like he might somehow win because his opponent apparently is forgetting about these units. He's moving all the medevacs back. He's going to keep siege tanks there, which I like. And he's got a tiny bio supply again. I mean, this is TVT. If this is any other matchup, it would definitely be game over, but I mean, we saw what happened in the Warhawk game that lasted over 30 minutes. It's just it's 4 base to 3, and he's got a 4th base, but he's not landing it. And the opponent has 3 starports. I mean, I'm actually a bit annoyed that he built reactors on these ones. And he has start a tech lab on the first one. Just go for 2 more tech labs and build a fusion core and just build 3 BCs at once. If you build 3 BCs, it doesn't matter how many Vikings, Liberators, Medevacs, tanks. I mean, just keep having them build tanks, man. I'll help you out a ton. Upgrade's about equal. Teach is gonna have a slight upgrade lean soon enough. But yeah, another thing. Liberators also don't do anything in TVT when you don't have the air advantage, and he most definitely does not. Like, he doesn't even have to worry about these Marines, really. He's got a single medevac. I would like to see two more, especially because he's got so much more stuff. He's making 4 libs, which I like, but I would have preferred to see 2 libs and 2 medevacs. Because just having 3 medevacs is plenty to heal this amount of bio. And you're still going to have a Liberator advantage. And again, Liberators, this is the thing, you don't want to make Liberators unless you have the air advantage. And this is why Vikings are overall much more important than medevacs, because medevacs don't do anything. He is engaging without the tanks. He's also not leapfrogging the forward, but yeah, Carbot knows he's out of that. I'm so surprised at how little scans there were, because basically every single league, like Platinum above, maybe even Golden above, you see people scan nonstop in TVT. Like, not scanning the opponent's bases and the opponent's positioning in TVT is just unheard of. They were using like half the scans they should have used. On top of that, that one move, the reason that really angered me is not just because it was Smuggy Carbot, which is a good player, and it was a good TVT player. It's also because he was literally, he was a tiny pixel away from having vision of the opponent's base. That's how close he was to the opponent's base. But second of all, I've seen this way too many times from my team. You can't be indecisive, and when you are pushing across the map, if you have 2 medevacs and you're moving across the map, you do not pull back. It is much, much, much worse for you. He lost that game purely because he pulled back there. If he drops his opponent's base, no chance whatsoever his opponent comes back from that. He loses all of his main production, he loses 20 workers, and his opponent can't retreat. All of his units are across the map, super slow, and if he retreats, then his opponent can just A-move back, can just catch his army unsieged. That was one big mistake that cost him that. And I'll do it for game 2. Tied up 1-1.